More people come in. All right. There's Jay. Good evening, everyone. We just turned our camera on, so we're going to be doing sports cards only. I have a good friend of mine here, Paul, who's going to be running the show. I'm going to be in the background, being his biatch. I didn't say the bad word, but I'll be in the background, just helping facilitate everything. But I'm here, so I'm going to turn this over to Paul. Basically, everything what we normally do. Take a look. All of the items are loaded into our store. So go ahead, peruse the store. We go by requests. So if you have a specific request, otherwise we'll just start from the first one. These are 15-second auctions tonight, okay? So I'm going to turn this over to Paul, and I'm going to be in the background.
So good evening, everybody. These cards, starting with this one, which is a bio sheet, it's one of a set of over 50, and I had a duplicate of Joe Montana, so I'm putting it in the auction tonight. You're going to see some photographs at the beginning, but then we're going into the 1970s. The collection that I was able to purchase that I'm putting up for auction tonight has cards from 71, 72, and 73 primarily. There are a whole bunch of 1980 cards as well. If anybody sticks around to the end, I'll tell you a story of how I came upon these cards, but I'm not going to bore everybody at the beginning with how that goes. So why don't we go ahead and start with the Joe Montana Intimidator bio sheet number 16. I'm going to turn it over for a few seconds. It is a bio sheet. Everything you may or may not have wanted to know about Joe Montana, from the personal to the Notre Dame to the 49ers. It's dated January 1993. It includes references to the fact that he sat out most of the 1992 season. I guess soon thereafter, or not too long after, he was traded to the Chiefs. I'm going to turn it back over, and I am going to start it.
Let me go ahead and do the start option. I'm going to change it to 15 seconds.
Yeah,
No sudden death.
no sudden death.
All right. So now every time you hit start auction, it should automatically default to that. Should.
And so that is the house button. Is that right?
What was that?
This button on the right?
Yeah, it's already starting.
Oh, it already started?
Yeah.
All right, Dan, good. Thank you very much. So we're going to put that to the side. And here comes Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers was a heck of a running back. The back is just photo paper. It's a Kodak photo paper. And if you haven't seen Brian's song, I recommend it. We can go ahead and start this auction. Oh, went to 30. I need to get it down to 15.
All right.
So we'll try to fix that.
How about once you say we'll start it, I'll go ahead and start it.
Okay. Sorry, this one's going a little bit longer. We'll try to get some of the glare out from the plastic. It's a little wrinkly looking, but thank you, Dan. And somebody who is a little bit more contemporary than Gale Sayers, Mike Ditka. Again, this is a photograph. It is on Kodak paper, and I imagine this was when they won a championship. You want to go ahead and start this one?
Sure. Oh, see, look, mine started off at 15 seconds. All right.
There it goes.
So we just got a request for 5, 10, and 11.
All right. All right, we're going to put this into the no one bid. So we'll go to number 5 now. Here we have cards from 1980. These are all Steelers. Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback in the middle. You'll find that the middle tends to have the most valuable card, although it's not the only valuable card necessarily of the lot. And I'm going to push it up as far as I can so you can see all the players' names. And I'm going to turn it over for a minute just to confirm whether or not there are any rookies in this grouping. But this is the 1980 cards for what was a very successful championship team during the 70s. Here we go, turning it over. And I don't see any rookie cards, but they're all in relatively good condition. I think the 1980 cards are much better condition than the 70 cards in general. I don't think any of the cards you're going to see tonight are going to be gradable. They often have rough edges or one or two bad corners. I will try to point those out when I see them. And we're going to go ahead and start this auction.
Somebody made a comment. Nobody wants a guy who sold the farm for Ricky Williams. What does that mean?
Not sure. So this is going to be 15 seconds. It says 30 seconds here.
I got 15 seconds.
So I'm going to start it.
It's already ended.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
So should I cancel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
It's all in order, 10 and 11.
Okay. So we're now going to the Patriots. We're going to have a Jim Plunkett rookie card. He's the quarterback in the middle. Great story, Jim Plunkett. I'm not going to tell it. You can look it up. I'm going to turn it over. These are 1972 cards. Jim Plunkett doesn't have exactly the cleanest edge as far as the cutting, but it's in relatively good condition. Looking at the back, you can see that there's a little ding on the corner of Jim Plunkett. So turning it back over, and I'm going to start this one.
It's going. This one's going. Do you want to start it on your next one so that way you get that 15-second default?
Sure.
Okay. So number 11.
Thank you, Dan. I think you're going to enjoy that Jim Plunkett. Now we're going to number 11. I think this is one of the best slots in the group. I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to turn it to the right in a second so you can see them horizontally. Joe Namath is in the middle. The John Riggins card is a rookie card. It's in relatively good condition. I'm not seeing any major dings or creases in this group. I'm going to turn it over for you. Just confirming that John Riggins, it is the rookie card. I'm going to turn it back, keep it horizontal. And I'm going to start it now.
Who printed the cards?
Ha 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 ha. They're tops. They're all tops.
Oh, okay.
These are not home printed.
So you got to change it to 15 seconds here.
Okay.
And that should now, and then press start. And that should now default to 15 seconds every time you start one.
All right. Did that one already end?
Nope. It's going right now.
Okay.
What are you doing here? Are you okay? They're live streaming. It's okay. They're live streaming or whatnot. It's okay. What are you doing here?
Thank you, Kenny. All right. Were there any other ones asked for out of order?
Nope.
All right. So we're going to number 4. We have, I'm going to keep them horizontal for now because that's the way they all go except for the Bubba Smith in the middle. Bubba Smith in action, great defensive end. Ted Hendricks at the top there is a rookie card. He was a player for the Packers and then also for the Raiders. I think his career I think he's a Hall of Famer from the Raiders. So let me see if you can see all of them. And then I'm going to turn it horizontal for Bubba Smith. Just looking at the corners on these, nothing that's terribly rough. This one's not cut very well. The Tom Mate. Turning it over. All in decent condition. I'm saying basically fair if you wanted to think about grading, but I'm going to go ahead and start this one. Number 4.
Jay Diesel said Hall of Famer Raider.
Absolutely.
No go?
No go. We might bring that back later if we do some grouping together. All right, we now have some 72 Steelers. 2 of them, there's a duplicate of Ronnie Shanklin, Lee Greenwood. I'm going to turn them over. These, again, are in pretty fair condition. Here I see a lot of rough edges, corners. This one's not very good either. I'll turn them because that's the way they read on the back. None of these are rookie cards that I'm aware of. And I'm going to go ahead and run this one just a moment. And it's going.
I thought you were going to check out the couch that you guys did.
All right, we're going to put that one aside. We now have a bunch of Broncos featuring the rushing leaders for 1971, Floyd Little, Larry Zonka, and Marv Hubbard. Hubbard was with the Raiders. The ones along the edges are tend to be common cards. The ones in the middle may or may not be common cards. Most of them are stars. I'm going to turn it over so you can see it. The one in the middle is not exactly cut evenly. I'm going to go ahead and run this one.
And he says O.J. Simpson 7th on that list.
Interesting information. All right, we're going to put that aside. Here we come with some Redskins featuring Billy Kilmer, quarterback for the Redskins.
What number is that one?
This is number 8. All tops 1972 on the back. None of them appear to be rookie cards. Some of them have some soft corners, but otherwise in pretty fair condition. I'm going to go ahead and start it now. All right. Maybe if we put some of those together, they'll get some bids later. Here we have some Vikings featuring Carl Eller, defensive end in the middle. We do have duplicate of this one of Bob Lee. Not often that you see somebody listed as a quarterback and punter, but that's how Bob Lee is listed. Turn it over to see the back. Again, no rookies that I can see. But I think the Carl Eller card is the star of this one. I'm going to go ahead and run it. No takers on the Vikings. So we have another one that I think might be of greater interest. We have Archie Manning's rookie card. That is the father of Peyton and Eli, who played for the Saints. I'll turn it over for a moment so you can see that it is a rookie card. Again, we have a duplicate of Dave Parks, the tight end. Looking for any bad corners. There's a little bit of a rough corner here, a little bit of a rough corner there. Turning it over, and you will see that this is a Archie Manning rookie card. 1972 tops. I'm going to go ahead and run it now.
We have a request for 20 minutes.
You got it.
Somebody is asking if we could run Vikings, Colts after 20, Vikings, Colts, and Saints. Run it as a lot with them making a pick which one they want later.
Well, the Saints have just sold, so they're
Got
out.
Got it.
And but we can do a combination of ones that have passed. Absolutely. We have some Bears now. We've got Gale Sayers in the middle. A couple of rough edges, but otherwise a nice looking card. The other Bears are all common cards. I'm going to turn it over. Looks like Gale Sayers was in the league about 7 years at the time of this card, 1972 tops. Turning it back over. Let me know if you need more time on the back for any reason. Again, I think they're in fair condition. If there's any that look really poor to me, I will point them out to you. I'm going to go ahead and run this one. Thank you, Dan. I think that is a great buy. We now have a full sheet of Eagles cards. After this one, we can come back and do some of the ones that were asked for together. Harold Jackson, the wide receiver, is featured in the middle. I'm trying to see if there are duplicates. Henry Allison is a duplicate, as well as Steve Zabel, the tight end. Love the mustache, or mustaches. Turning it over. No apparent rookie card. No really bad corners.
Bill Bradley is also duped.
He is indeed a safety. But I do think that Harold Jackson is the star of this sheet. I'm going to go ahead and run it now.
I didn't say that. We had a viewer say it, so I'm
Very,
not that smart.
I'm just no. If people are more observant than I am, I haven't seen these cards since you took them from me about 10 days ago. So thank you, Cam. We're going to the New York Giants now. Norm Snead, the quarterback, 1972 Giant card. At the top, you've got receiving leaders that include Harold Jackson as number 3 and Bob Tucker from the Giants as number 2. We obviously have a duplicate here of Bobby Duhan, the running back. Turning it over. Pete Athis is a rookie card, cornerback for the Giants, 71, 72. Turning it back. Norm Snead played for an awfully long time. Starting the auction.
And he was awfully mediocre.
Well, I from the East Coast, I'm not going to argue with you. No takers on Norm. All right. We're going to some Raiders cards now. George Blanda, kicker and quarterback. Another old timer, kind of like Norm Snead. We got no duplicates. I did include this a second card of the rushing leaders because Marv Hubbard is in there. I'm going to take this sticker and move it because it's hiding Fred Biletnikoff. Some rough edges here, rough corner there, rough corner here. Still pretty fair condition though. Turning it over, I don't see any rookie cards except for Phil Villapiano, linebacker for the Raiders. Turning it back. Jim Otto was a pretty famous center for the Raiders as well. I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Dan. We're now going to go to the cards, the Cardinals of St. Louis. They're all horizontal, so I'm going to start them horizontal. I'm going to move the number 16 off of Donnie Anderson. Jim Hart, the quarterback at the top. Mel Gray, I think, is the star of this sheet. Wide receiver. I'm going to turn it over. And Mel Gray, it is his rookie card. I think you'll find that he was a pretty famous wide receiver at the time. Turning it back. Starting it now. Okay, we're going to take the cards aside. Do you want to bring back some of the ones that were asked for?
Or do you want to do that last?
Well, I don't know if we could do it at the end. There was a request to do it, so I was going to bring them back now if you wanted to.
Okay, we could do that.
And if you could remind us, which teams did you want us to bring back that have already gone by? We'll put them together and see if we get some bids on them now.
So we have Bears.
No.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh,
I think
this
I remember.
is all in order. This is all in order.
Right. But what I recall is that it was the Colts. And what was the other team that was asked for? Was it the Vikings or the Steelers or both?
Hold on.
– 23, 24, and 25.
Vikings,
we could
Colts,
do after
and
that.
Saints.
Vikings and Colts. So we can do the Vikings and Colts. The Saints have gone. So I'm just going to put them there together. And I'm going to...
Wait. Let's run it under number 4.
All right.
I'm going to take 9 out. And then let me pin number 4. Give me 1 second to clean it up. Colts and Vikings. Oops. Give me 1 second. Next, save.
And if...
All right, there you go.
All right. It's running now.
So we just got a request for
23, 24, and 25. Thank you, Dan. Going into baseball. I'm going to take these one at a time. I'm going to start with 23. This Roberto Clemente of the Pirates is badly creased in the middle. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. And it goes across the entire card. I'm going to turn it over and you can see that it's on the back as well. Right in here. You can see the edge there in the black. Some of the corners are rough. I'd say the football cards were generally in a little bit better condition than some of the baseball cards, but I do think that Roberto is still collectible. It's just not in great condition. I'm going to go ahead and run this now. Let me know if you need me to show the back again. I'm going to wait for a second to see if anybody wants to see it again. I agree that the crease is unfortunate. I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Generico. All right, number 24. This is a group of Cincinnati Reds anchored by Pete Rose. This is a 1973 Topps card. Just look at the condition again real quick. It seems to be pretty fair. Here's a rough edge, a corner here. This is a ding in the plastic right here. It's not on the card. Turning it over. I'm going to hold it up a little bit better so you can see it without so much glare. I'm going to turn it back. And I'm going to run it.
They're talking about Pete Rose needs to be Hall of Famer.
That could be an entire evening of discussion. Nice take, Cam. All right. We go to the Atlanta Braves, anchored by Hank Aaron. Again, a 1973 Topps card. This does have a crease as well. You can see it right here. I'm going to take the 25 off in case anybody wants to see the sideburns of Jim Brazil. I'm going to turn it over in a second. Ralph Garr was another anchor of the Braves at the time. You can see that Hank Aaron started playing, had statistics starting in 1954 in the major leagues. None of these are rookie cards. I'm going to go ahead and run Hank and company.
True home run king.
Yes, Generico. All right, nothing else out of order. We're going to go back to football. We've got the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take the sticker off of Dick Anderson. One of the first proud bald-headed players from what I remember, although Gary Yepremian was also pretty proud in that area. And you have Bob Greasy as the passing leader for 1972, or at least 71 on the 72 card. Bob Greasy in action. See if that is a crease or not. There's a little bit of a ding here. This one has a rough part right there. This is a little bit rough around the edge. I'm going to turn it over, see if that crease is visible Yeah, it's right here. There's a crease there. No other rookie cards. Still a pretty good looking set of Dolphins. Going to start it now. I always thought it was amazing how all the kickers are the scoring leaders, at least back in the 70s. Okay, no takers for the Dolphins. We now have an assortment of cards. This is not one team. It is just an assortment of cards. I'm going to look at the back real quick so I can be accurate about the year. This is a 1969 player card with Lance Allworth on it. And the back makes these 1971 Topps cards. There's a bad crease on Bob Vogel here. Not seeing any other creases. These edges are meant to be rounded. This has a very rough corner. Manny Sistrunk. Jim Kick was a heck of a running back. And you've got Willie Brown of the Raiders, all-star at the time. Let me know if you need to see the other side of it again. Seeing none, starting the auction. No takers for the 71 cards with a 69 player card. I think I messed up your sticker. This was number 18, though.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go to the Cowboys. I'm going to move a sticker again, this time a little more carefully. We have Calvin Hill, the running back of the Cowboys. Bob Hayes, the wide receiver. Calvin Hill, duplicate, pro in action. I'm going to turn it over to make sure there are no creases. This one has a little dot right there, but that's part of the card. Rough edge here. Turning it over. No rookie cards. And not seeing any creases on these. I'm going to go ahead and run it. No takers for the Cowboys. I was told we might have some people from Texas here. So that'll take us to some, this is sort of a potpourri of players anchored by Willie Mays in the middle, but Willie does have a pretty bad crease right here. Carl Yastrzemski, creases. Billy Barton has a crease. Harmon Killebrew has a crease. Hank Aaron has 2 creases. And even Tug McGraw has a crease. So this is the creased sheet. I think they were all put together for that reason. I'm going to turn them over so you can see the other side. I'm turning it back. And I'm going to run it. I didn't know about Tug McGraw. Interesting. Thank you, John Urko. That'll take us to number 22. These are New York Yankees. And the middle is the all-time home run leaders. This is before Hank Aaron broke the record. So these, again, are 1973 Topps cards. You have Sparky Lyle here of the Yankees as the second best leading fireman at the time. Didn't get all of that sticker off of Celerino Sanchez. This does have two rough edges here. Lindy McDaniel has a rough edge. Let's turn it over. I want to make sure there's no crease in the Hank Aaron card. No rookie cards. Interesting to see the list of home runs between Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, and Willie Mays, and how many they had at the beginning of their career and how many in the middle and the end. Turning it back over. I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Cam. Going to some Oakland A's. Just 4 on this sheet. Anchored by Raleigh Fingers in the middle. Ken Holtzman was also a great pitcher. 1973 tops. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see the Mike Epstein card a little bit better. And then I'm going to turn it over. Not seeing any creases in these. They do have rough edges and corners. Definitely fair. I wouldn't say poor necessarily, but you could. And I'm going to go ahead and run the A's. Notice it's before the handlebar curling up on Raleigh Fingers.
Jay Diesel says he was just about to say.
Thank you, Cam. All right. We're going to the Philadelphia Phillies. There's only one pure Phillies card. The others are leader cards.
27.
This is number 27. Larry Boa on the bottom. You have Nolan Ryan here. I'm going to turn it in a second. And Louis Tiant over here. So this is a bunch of leader cards, including the Phillies, Steve Carlton. There's a crease in the plastic here that is not on the cards. Putting up a little bit. I'm going to turn it over. Looks like this was the fourth year card of Larry Boa. Not too bad on the edges or the corners. I'm going to run it now. Nolan Ryan on any card is worthwhile. No takers. All right, to the Baltimore Orioles. Anchored by Brooks Robinson in the middle. No duplicates here. 1973 tops. Pretty rough corner here for Brooks, but the rest of the card looks pretty good. I'm going to turn it over in a second. Again, no rookie cards. Doyle Alexander, great pitcher, but started with the Dodgers before the Orioles. All right, I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Cam. We're now going to the San Francisco Giants, anchored by Dave Kingman in the middle. No duplicates on this one. Chris Spire in action at the top. 1973 tops. A little bit of a rough corner here. A little bit of a rough corner there. Turning it over. This is Dave Kingman's second year. Dina had in another auction not too long ago the Dave Kingman rookie card. And looking at this, I actually think that this in action is 1972. The others are 73 cards. So this is a 72 card. I'm going to go ahead and run it now. No takers for the Giants. All right. We're going to the Houston Astros. 3 cards. Jesus Alou and Bob Watson, I think, are both anchoring this one. 73 tops. I'm still hoping some people might be on from Texas. Not seeing too many bad edges. Bad, little rough corner there, but not too bad. Turning it over. A little bit of a roughness here. Turning it back. Before they were cheaters. Absolutely. Didn't want to go there, but I'm glad you did. You could have one of the Alou brothers to take him home tonight.
There's a request for this one next.
All right. Thank you, Cam. We have an out of order request for number 34. A combination of players and a team Cubs team card, all 1971. Anchored by Joe Morgan, also a rookie card of Ken Forsch, brother of Bob Forsch. Oscar Gamble, also a great outfielder. Mark Bellinger, great shortstop. And the Chicago Cubs of 1970 on a 71 card.
But I like them until they got moved to the A's division.
Yeah, baseball's changed an awful lot in just the last 10 years. I'm going to turn it so that you can see most of it, and then I'm going to turn it back so you can see the back of the Cubs card a little bit more center. Ken Forsch's data is from minor league pitching. It's weird how they have one line for these players, including Joe Morgan, but they are not rookie cards. The Cubs team records. Get that guy out of here. The cards you see in the back are for after all of the other lots are done. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it just a little bit better. The Cubs records. Pennant winners, not a World Series. All right, I'm going to run this one. Thank you, John Erko. All right, we're going to Minnesota Twins. You got a duplicate on the anchor, Tony Oliva. I just busted your tape again.
Again?
This is number 31.
Got it.
So you have 2 Tony Olivas, no other duplicates. You got the manager. Don't remember that manager, but I'm old enough to remember most of these players. Turning it over. Tony Oliva was with the Twins for quite a number of years, and I believe He retired with the Twins. A little bit of a rough corner on this Tony Oliva. 2 rough corners on these Tony Olivas. But I'm glad they're in sheets, because last time I did this, people were complaining I was rough with the cards, and I don't have to worry about that in these sheets. I'm going to go ahead and run the Twins now. No takers for Tony Oliva. I think if you look that one up, you're going to say, oh, yeah, he probably had some value. But we're going to move on to the New York Mets. Again, Tug McGraw, this time anchoring. We have a team card. We have a Topps All-Star rookie in John Matlack. John Milner was part of the 69 champions. This is a 73 card, so this is before they were champions again in 73, if I'm not mistaken. I know they were champions in 69 and 86. Maybe I'm wrong about 73. You can correct me. I was a New York Mets fan before I came to San Francisco. Rough edges here on the team card. Rough corner here on the Matlack card. I don't know why the John Milner is sticking out like that. It seems like it's oddly cut, and a little bit of a rough corner there. Turning it back. I'm going to run it now. No takers on the Mets. All right, I think this is our 2 more sheets before too long. These are all, well, it's a mixture of cards. 73. We have another Tony Oliva. I guess whoever collected these cards was a big Tony Oliva fan. Another Larry Bowa. In the middle, we've got Johnny Bench and Dick Allen, home run leaders for 1972. These are all 73 tops. You have a Buddy Bell rookie card. He was a pretty great player at the time. Don Sutton, I think, now is in the Hall of Fame. Chris Chambliss was with the Indians. He also was with the Yankees at first base. Bert Campaneris and Lou Brock. This is a whole mixture of what I think were pretty great players. Turning it over. This is the David Bell, or the Buddy Bell rookie card. He had 466 at-bats in 1972. It's a pretty full set of at-bats. The Chris Chambliss card is his second-year card. And I can hold it up a little closer so you can see the other home run leaders and stolen base leaders. I think these are in fair condition. Turning it back. I'm going to go ahead and run this now.
We're 48 minutes into the show.
And we're more than halfway. I'm pleased with that.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, John Erko. All right. Another kind of mixture of star players. Lot number 35. Gil Hodges in the middle, manager of the Mets. This is a 1970 top set. I'm going to turn it back over again quickly. And this is a very badly creased rookie card for Larry Bowa and Dennis Doyle. But it is badly creased. You can see it on this side as well. Bad corner here, bad corner there. But 1970 tops. I'm going to go ahead and run it now. Boog Powell, incredible first baseman, long-term player. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame.
Request.
Thank you, John Erko. We have a request for lot number 60, going back to football. These cards are not in sleeves, so I am going to try to be a little bit more gentle with them. It's a large set of what I would call common cards. Many of them are creased. And let's see if I can get many of them out here. Bruce Gossett, kicker. Vic Washington. Another Vic Washington pro at action. NFC Championship game. These are all 72 cards. I'm going to put this one up here because it's vertical. Super Bowl game, Cowboys 24, Dolphins 3. John Brockington, rushing leader for 1971. Mike Garrett. Another Jim Otto. Another tight end of Dave Parks. Let's see. I'm going to just put these on top of these. I'm not going to be turning them over. We got bad corners on these. Bad corner here. Crease here. Forest Blue. Dave Wilcox. Ted Kwolek. Rick McGeorge. Mike Phipps. Leroy Kelly. John Brockington, his own card. I'm going to just check to see if that's a rookie card. And it is. So that's John Brockington's rookie card. Otis Taylor. I'm going to put him up here. Ken Burrow. Virgil Carter. Fred Willis. John Hadley. And Charlie Joyner. And that is his third-year card. So this is one lot. And there are some creases. There are some bad corners. I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Miller. I'm going to be gentle with them. Let's see. I am not going to mash them all together like I might have if I were still 12 years old, which I was not in 1972. That's when I stopped collecting before I started collecting again at the age of 32. They're going to go all back in number 60. All right, we now have a binder of 1980 Topps football cards. And I'm just going to flip through these pages because you get the whole binder and all the pages. So Jim Youngblood is probably prominent on this page. If you want to see the back of a page or a particular card, let me know. I'm going to move it up so you can see it better. We got the Bills, mostly common cards. Chris Barr was a heck of a kicker. These are the Jets and Bengals and Oilers. We have Chargers. Fred Dean, standout defensive end. Redskins. Dolphins and Giants. Uivan Shaman was one heck of a kicker. Dave Jennings was a heck of a punter as well. Dolphins. Saints. Gary Premium. Ricky Bell. Oilers. Robert Brazil stands out to me. Chargers and Jets and Eagles and 49ers. Paul Hofer, running back. Got Seahawks. and Rams. Cardinals, Broncos, Jim Hart quarterback. Falcons, Jan Stenerud again. Steelers, Falcons, Packers, Oilers, Patriots, Patriots, Lions, Cowboys, Tony Hill, great wide receiver, Danny White, quarterback, punter. Still Cowboys, one Brown, Mike Pruitt, running back. Browns, Lyle Alzado. And finally, Buccaneers and Eagles. So if you're interested in common cards from 1980, I'd say this is a good lot for you. I don't know exactly how many cards there are, but you get the whole notebook. And it's all one lot. And it's open now. Thank you, Cam. I hope you enjoy those. We're going to number 37. All right. I'm going to bring out a stand. Put Phil Necro's jersey card back over here for the end of the show. Here you've got another Floyd Little with Larry Zonka, Bob Hayes, and Bubba Smith. These are all in sleeves. This one has creases right here, bad corner. Otherwise pretty fair. I can turn this one around. O.J. Simpson again was number 7 that year. Turn these two over as well. Turning them back and ready to run.
I thought the sirens were right outside the door.
Oh, yeah?
No, but they're not.
No takers for number 37. That takes us to number 38, which I believe is a standalone card. The next two are actually standalone cards. Number 38 is Dick Butkus. Does have a rough corner on the upper right. Also a pretty rough corner here. So not the greatest condition, but still a pretty decent Dick Butkus. If you want me to hold it closer, let me know. I'm going to turn it back. And I'm going to run it. Thank you, Generico. We're going to do the next standalone, which is Mean Joe Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just a little bit closer. A little bit of a rough corner there. So, who remembers the commercial that made Joe Green as famous as I think he is? Turning it over. What did he exchange for a Pepsi? Turning it back. Jersey. Yep. Starting it now. You went from being mean to beloved really quickly. Thank you, Miller CG. All right, we got another standalone card here. Actually, no, these are two cards. So they're both from the St. Louis Cardinals. These were, I think, cards that were in slightly better condition than were in the sheet. Jim Hart and Mel Gray. I'm going to move them up a little bit so you can see them better. And I'll turn them both over in a second. And it is Mel Gray's rookie card. Four touchdowns in 1971. And I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Cam. I think we're now going to a couple of Los Angeles Rams. Roman Gabriel, Filipino-American, first to play in the National Football League. Rough edge there, rough edge there, rough corner there. Dave Elmendorf, safety. I'm going to turn him over real quick. Rookie card for Dave Elmendorf. Right now. I guess I'm keeping Roman Gabriel. Okay. We'll see what else we have. This is a set of Dolphins cards. It's another Bob Greasy passing leader card. Bob Greasy Pro Action. Larry Zonka. Bob Greasy with a crease. And Nick Bonaconti. I'm going to put him up here. I think he's easier to see up there. Middle linebacker. I don't know why I remember him, but I do. Fourth year card for Larry Zonka. Pro Action. Fifth year card for Bob Greasy. Nick Bonaconti. And the Bob Greasy passing leaders. Jim Plunkett was number 6 that year in his rookie year. Johnny Unitas, number 10. Turning him back over for you. Again, there's that crease here in the Bob Greasy standalone. The other's looking pretty fair condition. Running it now. Thank you, Miller. All right. We got a bunch of looks like common cards. These are 1971. Ray Sadecki of the Mets. Art Shamsky of the Mets. Let's see if we can put him in here. A couple of 70 cards. Another Ray Sadecki. Tony Taylor. Jim Nettles rookie card. Don Clendenin. And some Yankee rookie cards. So it's that whole lot. I'm not turning them over. They all have rough edges. They're all in, I'd say, poor to fair condition. Not seeing too many creases, but I do see a lot of rough corners and edges. I'm going to run it anyway. Common Card Delight. Thank you, John Erco. Again, I'm going to try to be gentle with them as I take them off. Get ready for a Joe Morgan 1972 card. Can't remember if he's alone or not, but he'll be next. There's two of them.
It looks like in the picture.
Oh, it might be with Lou Brock. Let's see. Nope, I think, let's see. I can't remember. You've had him too long.
What?
We got Roy White of the Yankees and Joe Morgan of the Astros. Pretty rough corner here, very rough corner there. I would guess that's a poor Joe Morgan card, but you can decide for yourself. Roy White was somebody I followed when I was young. That's a rough plastic. It's not on the card, but there's a crease right there. Just letting you know. Turning him back. You can see the crease there. If you can't see it, I'm going to bring it a little closer. I don't think you can still see it, but trust me, it's there. Running it now. Thank you, Cam. Now we're getting to Lou Brock. And Lou's with Steve Carlton. Crease here. Rough edge there. Pretty rough corner there. I'm going to go ahead and turn Steve Carlton over. You don't really see the crease on this side. Oh, there it is. Right in that corner there. I'm going to go ahead and run him now. Thank you, Cam. Now we have some Phillies, a Philly and a Dodger. Greg Luzinski, Bill Buckner. Tops.
I'm sorry.
This is 46. That.
I think he's good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's 45. Sorry about that. All right. Everybody can tell the story about Bill Buckner when he was with the Red Sox. So I guess it's his first card, even though he's with Los Angeles in 69 and 70 also, but it's his top All-Star game card. This is Greg. This may be his rookie card. He played a little bit in 1970 for the Phillies as well. I'm going to turn him back over. And I'm going to run it. All right, Bill Buckner comes home with me. Number 47, Tony Perez and Sparky Lyle. Before he was with the Yankees. I'll turn him over. Pretty rough edge here, rough corner. Again, that right there is just in the plastic. I think there must have been a sticker on it before that was taken off the plastic. And I'm going to go ahead and run these two now. Okay, next, number 48. These are knotted sleeves. We have Roy White, Larry Boa, Don Sutton, Chris Chambliss, and Buddy Bell. Because they're not in sleeves, I'm not going to turn them over. There's a rough, very rough corner here on Buddy Bell. A little bit of a rough corner there. No creases that I can see. I'm going to go ahead and run it now. 1973 tops. Right. Number 49, some 1980 tops football cards. These are not in sleeves. Chuck Foreman, running back with the Patriots, went to the Vikings afterward. Chuck Muncie of the Saints. These are all running backs. I'm going to put them up like this so you can see them a little bit better. I will turn these over. I don't see any rough corners or rough edges. It looks like he was with the Vikings and then he went to his new team. All running backs. No rookie cards. So he ended up at the Patriots after the Vikings. I remember him with the Vikings. We have this nice soft mat now so that we're being more gentle and not scratching anything. Running it now.
It's F1. Somebody's asking, any F1?
Oh, that's car racing, I think.
Okay. Sorry, Apex, we don't have any tonight.
Formula One racing. All right. No running backs tonight. Next, we're going to a group of defensive ends from 1980 tops. They never get enough attention, I think, in cards. Carl Eller at the Seahawks, Jack Youngblood, Tom Jackson, Brad Van Pelt, Harry Carson, Leroy Selman, Bill Berge, Harvey Martin, and Mel Blount. Cornerback, they're all defensive players. Linebackers, defensive ends, and whatnot. I'm not going to turn them over because there are too many. Again, I don't see any rough corners or rough edges. I'm going to run them now. Thank you, Cam. Sorry for the shaking. Just hitting the post. Next, we have a group of quarterbacks, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, Miami Dolphins again. This is lot 51. They're in sleeves, Bob Greasy and Larry Zonka. These are 1980 tops. Turn over Zonka first. He had gone to the Giants and then back to the Dolphins for the 1979 year. Bob Greasy never left the Dolphins. No bad edges, no bad corners, no creases. This one's a little cut funny. That one's a little cut funny too, but still very nice cards. Thank you, Cam. They were quite the 1-2 punch in the 70s. All right. Going to, I think, a small group of quarterbacks. They're all sleeved. Dan Fouts, Ron Jaworski, Dan Dierdorf, tackle, and Fred Dreyer. I guess these are all people that are commentators or actors after their careers. Put them up here, a little bit easier to see. I can turn these over. This one is not sleeved. Turning them back. We had it pretty high up for the sheets, so it might not be as easy to see them as it was last time we did this, but here we go. We're going to run this one. No takers on the actors and commentators. Going to lot number 53. I believe these are all wide receivers. They are not sleeved. Mel Gray, Freddie Solomon, Harold Carmichael, Wesley Walker, Charlie Joyner, and Drew Pearson. Unless somebody wants me to turn them over, I'm going to leave them just like that. Move this one a little bit over so you can just see that they all seem to have really decent edges and corners. I'm not seeing any dings on these. I get the impression these things were sleeved or sheeted right after they were opened. No takers on the wide receivers. All right. Number 54. These are sleeved. Kenny Stabler. He had been, let's see, Raiders, ended up with the Oilers. Archie Manning. Again, these are all 1980 cards. And Doug Williams. And Doug, second year card. Turn it over. Pretty decent corners and edges. I'm going to run it now. Thank you, Cam. think we're going to next is to running backs. Yes, two of them anyway. John Riggins and Tony Dorsett. Put them up here. I think it's easier to see. I think both of these are pretty nicely cut. No bad edges. We saw John Riggins' rookie card earlier tonight. Turn them back. Try not to hit the post. And running it. Thank you, Cam. I think the next one is 49ers cards. They are not sleeved. Randy Cross, Ray Wershing. Well, we got Cowboys as well, Browns, tight ends, kickers, and a guard. No pattern. Try to move that one over. Put them up here. I'm going to go ahead and run it. Glad to hear it, Cam. No takers on the mixture. Damn post. There we go. Number 57. This is a whole mixture. I believe it's quarterbacks. Craig Morton, Steve Fuller, Ken Anderson, Joe Theismann, Jim Zorn, Steve Bartkowski, Steve Grogan, Joe Ferguson, Vince Ferragamo, Don Strzok, and Steve DeBerg. Running it. Thank you, Cam. All right, number 58. This is a whole mixture of common cards from 1972 tops. Doc Ellis, Ralph Garr, Joe Niekro, Darrell Evans, Ken Forsch, Bob Watson, Tommy Helms, Rick Wise, Hal McRae, Jeff Burrows, Tommy Agee, Cleon Jones, Ted Kubiak, and Jose Cardinal. Running it. I have to finish before Dina's next auction starts at 7.
Not on Whatnot.
Not on Whatnot. It's got a lot of stamps and coins. Can we say the name of it?
Yeah.
Bay Area Online Auction. No takers for that potpourri. All right. I think the next one is similar as far as the number of cards. This is number 59. (1973) tops. Manager of the Red Sox, Ken Holtzman, Ralph Garr, Whitey Lockman of the Cubs, Reggie Smith, Bob Watson, Willie Davis, Ken Henderson, Rudy May. Might as well put him up there. Brewers card, Jim Brewer of the Dodgers, Lindy McDaniel, Fritz Peterson, John Mayberry, Carlos May, Don Zimmer, Dave Nelson, Paul Splittorff, Phil Gagliano, Sonny Siebert, Lynn McLaughlin, Ted Seasmore, Texas Rangers card, Rick Monday, and Ron Santo. Running it. 1973. I don't see any in that are in terrible condition. Rudy May's got some issues up here, but the rest are better. We already do 60? I think we did. Thank you, Generico.
Yep. Yeah, you did. So it just skips to 61.
I'm seeing 63 on top. Is there another one there?
63 right here.
61. All right, Steve Largent. I'm taking the sticker off. I'll put it up here. Former Congressman Steve Largent, fourth-year card with the Seahawks. Bring him in a little closer. Turn him over. He's sleeved and in a hard case or harder case. I'm going to run him now. Very popular congressman. No politics. No takers on Congressman Largent. Another Mean Joe Green. This one from 1980. Number 62. Cut a little bit funny. Good corners, good edges. Great defensive tackle. 6'4", 270 out of North Texas State. I'm going to run Joe now. Thank you, Cam. I hope you enjoy Mean Joe Green. Next, we got another group of 73 cards, all tops, none sleeved, rough corners, mostly the corners, I think. Fred Norman again, Fred Norman a third time, Don Zimmer again. I think these are all Padres. Lots of duplicates and triplicates. Not all Padres. Ted Abernathy, John Mabray, I'm going to put him there. These are all commons with duplicates. Another Darryl Thomas, another Fred Norman, another Don Zimmer. Hope you find something to do with them. Paul Splittorff was a nice pitcher. And Richie Scheinblum. I'm running it. You can never have enough commons if you're a collector of 70s. No takers. Takes us to number 64. A couple of Reggie Smiths. This one's a better looking card than the one in the stand. Third, Reggie Smith, Eddie Clasico of the Boston Red Sox, Rick Monday, Whitey Lockman of the Cubs, Phil Gagliano, Sonny Hebert, Ron Santo, Whitey Lockman again, and Rick Monday again. Running it. All of these 70 cards came out of one box. Thank you, Cam. Gentle, gentle, gentle. I keep telling myself they're not my cards anymore. Number 65.
At least you're letting go.
I am definitely letting go. My wife is extremely happy. Milwaukee Brewers team card. Carlos May, Ed Herman, Terry Foster, Carlos May again. Mike Andrews, Terry Foster again. Stan Bonson, Billy Champion, Jerry Bell, Johnny Briggs, and Ellie Rodriguez. They're not all Brewers. It's Brewers and White Sox running it. Okay. We're going to go to number 66. Thank you, Dina. St. Louis Cardinals and Texas Rangers. Luis Melendez twice. Ted Sizemore. I'm going to move them back so I have a little bit more room. There's a lot of cards here. Ted Sizemore, Luis Melendez, Al Santorini, Ted Sizemore, Bill Gogolewski, Dick Billings, Mike Paul, Bill Gogolewski, Mike Paul, Dave Nelson, Texas Rangers team cards, and Texas Ranger pitcher. Running it. Holding on to these.
So for the rapid fires, you want to change your time to 10 seconds.
All right. You want to show me how to do that?
Yeah. So go ahead and pull up your first card. No order. I already have all the tape ready.
All right. So in case we had some additional time and we're an hour and a half in, and I think we're going to be able to get through several of these, I'm going to start with a Fernando Valenzuela rookie card. Sleeved and in a hard case, 1980 tops, back of it. It's also a Mike Scioscia, who was a great catcher and a pretty good manager as well. Any Fernando Valenzuela fans out there, very collectible card. Start auction.
Change it to 10.
10, but it's not sudden death.
Yeah, and then go ahead, hit start.
Start auction.
So. And so on all these, all you have to do is start next auction. Automatically should.
Thank you, Crafty. I'm going to put up a couple of, actually several memorabilia cards. Here's a Tim Raines jersey card. I'm going to turn it over briefly, but I'm going to run these really fast. Congratulations, you received. This is 2001 tops. Running it. $1 for a jersey card. Didn't happen. Okay. Next we have two Paul O'Neill cards from the Yankees. We have a Slugger's Choice. This is a game-used batting glove and a Paul O'Neill game-used jersey card. Let me know if you want to see the back. A little bit of a pinstripe there. This is Upper Deck. The other is World Classic World Series matchups. The other person here is Byung-Hyun Kim, but it's Paul O'Neill's jersey. Starting it now. Thank you, John Erco. We're going to put two up for this one. After this, actually, no, I'm going to put these up first. We have Rafael Palmeiro bat card and jersey card. Fleer Mystiques and a Pacific, what does that say? Private stock, authentic Rafael Palmeiro card. And I'm putting up those now. Thank you, Crafty. We're going to put up a single card now. I think all of these are going to be singles. Phil Niekro jersey card. Actually, no, worn pants. Game worn pants. Cut of history. Flair Greats was with the Yankees. 84-85. Running it now. Thank you, John Erko. Got a little stack here. Next is Mark Pryor, jersey card. Dean's List, Upper Deck, Honor Roll. Just reading off the card. Don't know what any of this really means, except I've had them for a while. Mark Pryor, jersey card, running now. No takers for Mark Pryor. How about Manny Ramirez, Upper Deck, jersey card. Running it now. No takers for Manny. How about Maglio Ordonez, rookie card? Not even turning this one over. Running it now. No takers. We've got Scott Rowland with a pinstripe. Upper Deck MVP, running it now. No takers. Hideo Nomo. Fleer Genuine. Genuine Leaders. Authentic grade worn jersey. Running it now. Thank you, Crafty. And we've got two more 70s cards, saving it for the very end. I hope these go as high as they can. They're in much better condition than the cards that you saw of these before. First, we're going to do Fred Biletnikoff. I'm going to turn it over without breaking my wrist. Turning it back. Running it now. Thank you, Janerko. And the final card, it does have a rough corner, maybe a couple of rough corners, but nevertheless, it's a Gale Sayers 1972 football card. And for the last of the evening at 6:38 p.m., we're running it. Thank you, Cam. And that's going to be it. Actually, what is this one?
Oh, no.
That was Tim Raines.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
We already did those. I'll have probably another set of cards sometime in the future.
Yeah.
We have to work that out.
Yep.
Not sure if it's going to be in February, but we'll figure it out. So thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. We're going to have our other shows Monday, non-sports. I think I started loading some up, but let's see. We're going to send you guys to my favorite channel. Thank you.